All right, it's Monday, and it's actually not too terrible out, but we're not going to be out here for very long. We got some things to do tonight. So I got to come out here and pull some seat tracks off the seats off out of this car, and then go downstairs, ship parts, and get these seat tracks, hopefully get them sold so we can ship those. But um, they're just 4 bolts. They're kind of hidden back behind here. You move the track forward and backwards, and they come right out. So we're going to knock those out, and then get down to the basement. We got parts to ship, and then, like I said, we have something to do here in a little while. But I'm trying to get all this done as much as I can get done before we have to leave. So let me get busy and get this done. And just like that, they are out. So they are 7/16 bolts here. Here's 4 total in each one. The one thing that's different about these L-body seat tracks compared to, say, Daytona, LeBaron, they don't have the spring, the wire that connects left to right, in or out, or whatever you want to word it. They're self-sliding. So Daytona, LeBaron, I believe Shadow, they have a wire that connects the two together so that they're both spring-loaded, where these are not. These are not really spring-loaded. They just slide. So we're going to go ahead and... one other thing that I did, I'll show you real quick, was I like to mark them right hand. I do that so that when the customer gets them, it's easier for them to put them on their seats so they know which side goes to which. So each right hand side has an RH, and then the driver's side, the left hand side, don't have it marked at all. So we do that again to try to help them out. So we're gonna gather up an armful of parts because my next trip is the basement to ship parts and get these hopefully sold and ready to ship tonight as well. So we'll carry some parts down because we're already on our way. So until then, tomorrow it's supposed to start warming up. They're talking like 70s by the weekend. Whew, I can't wait for that. And as of today, we're making a trip, planning on making a trip to get the next car, and that one's going to be a cool one on Saturday. We're hoping to go get that and maybe some parts. So we'll be back out here tomorrow night. Chrysler K cars are the cockroaches of cars. Unreliable, junk engines, junk transmissions, torque steer that rips the steering wheel out of your hand. It's odd. Twists junk axles, and just overall junk cars. And that they don't know why we save them. Nobody's restoring them. Nobody's saving them. Nobody's driving them. Nobody's fixing them. And I live in squalor. Oh, I'm a fat, balding man. Well, that part's true. So gotta love trolls. And I hope you get to see this video too. And I hope you make comments again because I love it. You're not going to belittle me. I don't care. Say what you wish. Doesn't matter to me. Anyways, enough of that. The garage is overran with parts, as you can see. That's why I did a little bit of a video at the beginning. So in the videos that I make, yes, this garage probably looks like a cluster. Because it is. I work out of a 2.5 car garage. And I have an 18x40 storage building that is not, there's no electricity or nothing in it. It's just a dry storage building. And there's 4 cars in there. My LeBaron, the wife's Shadow, the GLHS, and the convertible Dakota. Where else am I supposed to work out of? What am I supposed to do with all these big parts? Because not just the cars are in there, but I've got fenders hanging from the rafters. I've got hoods lined up against the walls. I've got doors lined up against the walls. Floor pans, quarter panels, seats. My zero turns in there. But I don't know what else to do. So anyways, tonight, it's nice outside. You can see the garage doors open, which means that it's warm enough. I am going to attempt to get this engine in this 85 Shelby Charger to run. Don't know if I'll accomplish that, but we're going to give it a whirl. So I'm going to turn on the music, and I'm going to put a battery in this car and see if I can figure out what has been done to it. It won't even crank. I talked earlier video about the push button starter that's been wired in. I don't know exactly what was wired in on that. My buddy that you've seen in the videos had said earlier in the week that he could probably come over, and between the two of us, we can definitely figure it out or come up with something. But unfortunately, his girlfriend's dad passed away this morning, so I'm not even going to bug him. Obviously, he's got bigger issues to deal with than coming over here and wrenching on this old car. So with that said, as of today, like I said, today is Thursday. Tomorrow night, I'm not going to be working out here. We're going to be making a trip to see my mother-in-law's headstone. Tomorrow's her birthday, and my wife wants to go down and visit her. So that is going to be top priority tomorrow. Saturday, I got a surprise coming up. We're planning on making a trip and getting the next car. I'm not going to discuss what this car is because I want it to be a surprise. It's kind of a unique car, and it's really a shame that that cancer, the salt and rust of Ohio, ruined this car, because it's a pretty cool car. But anyways, I'm going to get busy. I'm going to, like I said, see if I can get this thing to run, or at least crank. If I can't get it to run, if I can get it to crank, then I can probably get it to run. But we're going to see what we can do. Still got the floors, still working the deal on that. It's on me right now. I got to get them out. What I'm going to do is we're going to come in here and cut this whole bottom out, including the rockers, and part way up the firewall somewhere somehow. So what's going to happen when I do that is this car is going to lose almost all of its structural integrity, and it's going to want a bow in the middle. So what I'm trying to do is get the engine done, get that out, and get it on the trailer before I cut this apart. This way, once it falls apart, I don't have to worry about trying to get it on my trailer. That's the plan. That's the goal. That's what we're going to shoot for. So for now, let's crank up some music and crack open a Celsius, and let's get some work done. Good again. Whatever it is, whatever you just did.
I think the fuel pump relay is not sending fuel.
Damn it. Well.
Yeah.
Alright, as you saw in the few second clip, we got it to run. Odd thing about this car, once I finally got a good battery in it, is the fuel pump actually works. Other than our Omni that we replaced the fuel pump in, I don't know if we've ever had one of these where the fuel pump actually still worked. So, with that being said, that means we're now going to be pulling the tank. Draining the tank and keeping that. And the fuel that it was spraying out, it's spraying it out up here at the fuel pressure regulator because the hose is just jacked up. Doesn't smell horrible. It smells old, but it doesn't smell horrible like it hadn't been sitting for 20 years. But did a compression check, 120 pounds all the way across all four cylinders. The engine, the little bit of time we did have it running, we had it running before I started making the video, and it actually sounds very good. But once I got the phone out and started making a video, it didn't want to run at all. So we diagnosed it, and we would unhook the negative part on the battery, reconnect it, and then it would run just long enough to do about well, you saw a few second video. So obviously, like with all of our engines that we sell, we highly recommend, pulling the head, getting everything checked, and putting new head gasket and all new head bolts and timing belt, et cetera, on it. So, but we do know that the engine runs. It didn't have any signs of any noises, which is good. So we've sold 2 or 3 of these, 4 of these maybe, like this, that ran. So we're going to have another one for sale here soon. I'm going to have to, pull the engine now. My next step is probably going to be to go ahead and get the engine out, remove the engine harness. And then I'm still debating on whether I want to pull the engine and transmission together or I've never done one like this, try to pull just the engine. If I pull just the engine, I don't have to worry about the CV axles and the brakes and all of that. So I don't know yet. I haven't decided that. We're going to check. We're going to think on that for a little bit. Tonight, I might be getting ready to call it a night. I'm not sure yet, because dinner time is going to be hopefully here soon. Meanwhile, I can go ahead and get the logic module out of it and start pulling the dash, get the steering column ready to go. Like I said before and earlier in this video, I'm not going to cut the floors until this thing is on the car trailer. So I need to get the dash, the pedal assembly out, everything out from the firewall area, the windshield, and the engine, and maybe transmission. But I need to get that part of it out before it goes on the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and do the interior first, get that all done, and then try to get the windshield out. Because I got to push this car backwards to give me more room at the front, so I have enough room to get the engine out. But yeah, I'm glad it runs. I'm glad we got it running. It took us a little bit, but we finally got it to run. And yeah, we got a running engine, so be another one up for sale. All right, good morning. It is Saturday morning. It is 8:33 a.m. And believe it or not, it is 66 degrees. It is beautiful. The sun is shining. It's supposed to rain. I thought it was supposed to rain this morning, so I thought I was going to be doing this in the rain, but so far, knock on some wood, we're going to be getting there and hopefully at least get loaded. I can drive home in the rain if it rains, but I'd like to at least get up there and get loaded. So we got about an hour and 20-minute drive, one direction, and then turn around and come right back to the house. I got 2 people supposed to be over today for parts. We'll see how that plays out. Otherwise, I'm going to try to maybe start working on pulling the engine in the Shelby Charger. As you saw, we got it running. So let me focus on the road, and let's get this next car home. I'll try to do a video of it when we get it home. Depends on the weather. If it's pouring down rain, I'm going to have to wait till it dries. So until then, we'll see you later. All right, good morning. It is Sunday. It's a beautiful sunny day, as you can tell. It's not as warm as it was a couple days ago, but it's not snowing. It's not freezing rain, and it's not below 30. So I'm okay with it. Not going to be doing much today. As you know, we spent yesterday morning, afternoon. Went and got another car, and I'm going to do a little video on that car here in a second. But so yesterday we took off, and it was a beautiful morning, as you saw. And when we got to where the car is, it started to rain. It rained for 5-10 minutes, thankfully, and then it cleared up. And then we was able to get the car and drug around and load it onto the trailer, and got it strapped down. And as soon as we got it strapped down, it started to rain again. And then it rained pretty much for the next probably hour, give or take. So we drove home in the rain for a while, and then as I was driving home, my wife called me and she's like, somebody's here. So we had some folks come from Illinois. They drove 7 hours to come and see us and get some parts. And it was nice to, they were here when I got home. They'd only been here for like 5-10 minutes at the most. So, and they knew I was going to be running to get this car. So spent some time with them. Got to talk to them for a while about their cars. They have a cool little Turismo and a 2.2 Charger, like what we just picked up yesterday. And they needed some parts for those. So we took care of them, and while they were here visiting, a local friend stopped by, and he has a Rampage, so they're all L-body fans, so they got to talk about their cars, and it was pretty cool to sit and enjoy the company. So with that said, We're going to be spending the day at my parents' house. We're going to go visit them. And then, so we're not going to be doing much around here today. Tomorrow, I believe it's supposed to be like 68 and sunny. So hopefully tomorrow, after I get home from work, I can come out here and work on the little Shelby Charger, try and start getting ready to pull the engine and get that another step closer to being done and gone. But for now, we're going to talk about this little car. So this little car, the story on the car was, the gentleman that we got it from has owned it since 1986. It is a 1983 Dodge Charger 2.2. The 2.2 got you the graphics down the side. The road wheels was an option. I'll show you those. And it got you the hood scoop, the spoiler, and the side scoops, the fender scoops. Other than that, it was pretty much the same car as far as just a base Charger goes. This one was a little bit sportier, a little more things to make it look sportier. So mechanically, it's the same car and whatnot. So, but this car is pretty unique. We'll get into that here in a minute. So anyways, the gentleman that we got it from had bought it in 1986 as a 3-year-old car, but he has known the car since the day it was bought, new. He knew the guy that bought it. He was friends with him, and they played around with the car even way back then. This car was built to be a street racer, and it's hard today in 2026 to think that, you know, this little Charger would have been a street racer, but you got to look at when this was in the mid 80s. Turbo Dodge cars were fairly new into production still, and then most of your cars back then, if they were making 140 horsepower, they were doing great things. So when this car was, you know, a couple, 3 or 4 years old, being a carbureted 2.2, running the streets the way he had it set up, it was probably a pretty potent little car. Fast forward at some point in time, I'm not exactly sure the date when, but he converted this to 88 Shelby Daytona, driveline, electronics, and everything. So this car actually has a 2.2 intercooled turbo in it and a 555 transmission with the Shelby Daytona shifter and cables. I'll show you all that here in a minute. So he talked to me in regards to, he basically bought a wrecked 88 Shelby Daytona that had almost 0 miles on it. He said it wasn't even 6-month-old car, that had hit a pole or a tree, I forget one, and crushed the whole front end. So he was friends with the people that owned the yard that ended up with that car, and he was able to purchase basically the front entire clip. So he got the whole harness and everything he needed, and he did this conversion on this car. So that tells me it was probably 88, 89 is when this car was converted. Maybe, I'm not sure 100%. So yeah, it was pretty cool talking to him. He's a very smart gentleman. He really knows his stuff. And if you go and know anything about these cars or him, this car went by the name of Merlin. Merlin. So this is Merlin. This is the original Merlin according to him. You can see, being an 83, it's got the ski slope taillights. Quick look, they look like they're in pretty nice shape, but unfortunately, being an Ohio car all of its life, I doubt this car maybe has probably never really left the state. The rust just ate it alive, and you can see the rear part of this frame is rotted. The rockers, I've seen worse, but the rear part of the rocker's bad. The door, it's got some scaling here. I haven't checked to see if it has any holes in the bottom. Unfortunately, the passenger fender is caved up here and crushed in pretty decently up here as well. So unfortunately, driver's or passenger fender is probably not salvageable. One funny story about this car was he said that at 100, I think he said 140 miles an hour, his story was these plastic trim panels. So there's a trim panel that goes on that. You can see that one's broken. This one's not. But this plastic trim panel will fly off. Hence, he pointed out why it's got the screw here to help hold this side on, so I'm assuming he lost the passenger side and his screw was the fix for the driver's side. So, but back to the car. This quarter panel's rotted. It's rotted in front of the wheel well, the bottom of this door, the rocker panel, the front edge of this door. This fender looks savable. The fender scoops are spoken for. The hood scoop will be available, as will any other body part that's good. There's not a lot of body parts that are good. He wants the spoiler back. I told him I would pull the spoiler and get it back to him as a little memory for him. That's what he wanted. So there's the road wheels. These are 14-inch aluminum 4-lug wheels. I haven't decided if I'm going to sell those or not. Those might go on the Horizon that we're building in the garage. Get this door open. If you know L bodies, you know that these doors are tricky. Red, lots and lots of red. The seats are actually in very nice condition. They're covered, they need cleaned, obviously. The driver's side has one cigarette burn right in this area, and then one real small little crack right in this area on the driver's seat. The passenger seat only has some fading here from sitting in the sun. So there's the 555 shifter from a Daytona, and you can see it's got cables. And then he had this gauge pod built, or he made this gauge pod so it retains all the factory parts. As far as it contains the factory spot for the radio, the ashtray, cigarette lighter, and all that. And then it's got the storage bin. The console for the car is in the back. He did not butcher the console. He left it the way it sits. It's interesting. He's got a 12-button navigator. And then it's got an 86 and up, 84 and up instrument cluster. The way he explained it to me was this transmission takes a electronic sensor for the speedometer, where almost all L bodies are cable driven, but he figured out that an 86 is he said 86. I'm not sure on the dates exactly, but it is non-cable driven, or somehow he was able to use the sensor and run both. I forget 100%, but it's pretty cool that this has got the updated speedometer cluster in it, because it should have the 83 and older cluster. Door panels don't look horrible. Door panels are hard to sell because it seems like nobody wants to buy those. Unsure on the plastic trim in the back. The headliner itself looks decent. The sun visors look nice. I got to check out the dome light lens. Windshield is cracked. You probably can't see that in the pictures. As you can see, the hood's got the typical L body lean. So anyways, there's the business. Like I said, this is an 88 T2. It had working AC. He told me that he had to modify the wiring to make that work. Something about how it's powered changed. And then obviously it's got the computer here. Have not put a battery in this yet, so unsure of its status. It hasn't been ran in quite a while. So hopefully this engine is good and we can at least get it running. I'm sure, it ran when parked, but he's got a intercooler up here in the front and tubing running to the airbox, and then it's got a stock radiator. So yeah, pretty cool car. Parts wise, body panels wise, as I said, there's not a lot that's going to be savable from this car, unfortunately. Floor pans, the bottom of the car is just completely gone. In the trunk or the hatch, there's another two-door body, hatch glass, a couple of Daytona seats, and then some miscellaneous pieces and parts. And then, like I said, the console is in there, and that's already spoken for as well. So this is why it helps to follow our YouTube channel and follow what we do, what we talk about, because the parts that I've already said are spoken for are from people that have watched and knew this car was coming in. So they were asking about it, and actually the scoops are the people from Illinois wanted those, and the console is from my local friend who were obviously, they were all here when the car showed up. So, but they found us those ways. So anyways, we're gonna get around to go. Like I said, we're going to go visit my parents today. I just came out to do this little quick video to close this week in my shoes out, and then unhook the trailer from the truck so I can take it to work tomorrow. And we're going to close this up and get ready to go. Call it a day, and we'll be back at it again hopefully tomorrow. We'll see you later. Like, follow, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything on this car you'd like. If there's any how-to videos you want done, especially on a 2L body, because we have 2 of those currently. And then we have one more car, at least one more car, potentially 2 more cars, potentially 4 more cars to go get from this gentleman. So the next one, it will be one that's pretty cool, and then the other couple are just run-of-the-mill cars. But you know, I try not to just see these cars and parts go to the junk. I try to save what we can. So anyways, with that said, we'll catch you on the next one, and enjoy your day.